Sound muted.
He's a bit like Marmite. Some people love him, some people hate him. But he's our Marmite, and he's just signed a fresh 3-year deal for us. Nah, not Marcus Maddison. Dell. This is TalkPosh. Hello and welcome to TalkPosh, supported by our friends at Serpentine Green Shopping Centre. On tonight's show, we play What Happened Next. We discussed the game at Doncaster and we look forward to the match against Bradford. We welcome Dell back from holiday. Evening, mate.
Good evening.
Alex is back in his best position, behind the camera. Ben is away on international duty. He's actually at Wembley watching the England game. We have asked him to, to get our retweets and stuff like that up, to have a little streak on the pitch, but we'll see what I think he politely declined that one.
Wouldn't want to see it.
No, that's true. Adam is back from his 7-day chicken dance tour. How did that go, mate?
Not doing it.
No? Go on, do it.
No comment. I think I did it Saturday with you, didn't I?
Yeah, you did, yeah. And me and Chris keep our places. As always, you can contact us on the comments below or tweet us at TalkPosh. Don't forget also to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Right, good stuff. So before we talk about the game on Saturday in the studio, let's hear Ben's expert analysis in his very, very well-lit studio. Well, his bedroom at home. There we go.
0-0 was a fair score in my opinion, but we had the better chances during the game. Maddison's curler that rattled the crossbar was easily the closest it came to during the match, next being Stephen Taylor's header straight at the keeper after a corner. Bond only had to make routine saves, whilst their keeper had to make at least 2 good stops, which I could think of. Says that we sort of had the better chances in the game. Not that 0-0 wasn't a unfair result on Doncaster. They did enough to deserve a point out of the match. First half was much better for Posh than the second. Defensively, we looked solid with the usual good performance from the back three. Leo had probably his best game of the season until he got taken off. Guion is Guion. He's just a pleasure to watch in a Posh shirt. I mean, the man's probably going to go down as one of our all-time legends. I honestly believe that. Maddison was a huge pain in the arse for them all first half. He faded a bit in the second half, but first half running at them, it was really nice to see. I mean, rejuvenated man with a new 3-year contract. We can only hope. Their back three did a really good job of controlling, nullifying our front two today. Jack Marriott was full of running still, but him and Marias just didn't seem to be getting the rub of the green against their back three today. My man of the match was Anthony Grant. He once again was head and shoulders above the rest. I mean, Guion and Maddison both did well today. Back three all did well. Plenty of good single performance again, but Anthony Grant played as big a part in that clean sheet as any of the defence did.
Yeah, thanks to Ben there for his insightful analysis of the game. He was very upbeat about it, weren't he? Not really. And thanks to Joe Dent, we credit him for the pictures, so thank you. Boys, let's talk about the game on Saturday then. 0-0. First drop points of the season. Dell, let's go back. Welcome back, mate.
Thank you. Not necessarily drop points. I know we did drop points, but I think that was a good result because what showed me is, for the first time, the attacking line wasn't really on fire, which is fair to say. But what was impressed with is the 3 centre-backs. All 3 of them, obviously Taylor, Taff and can't remember his name.
Baldwin,
the
captain.
Even though I spoke to him on Friday, but I think as a 3 they played pretty solidly. A couple of little errors, one each, but overall it was impressive to see them defend quite well. I think it was let down by both wing backs. I don't think Edwards had a particularly great game, and I don't think Leo had a particularly great game. It was one of those. It was encouraging that we didn't concede, because whilst I thought Doncaster probably had the better of the game, I thought they played a lot better than us. We seem to have more of the better chances, which another day we would have took away, and we've all been singing happy that we'd won.
Yeah.
But if we're truthful, I don't think we deserved to win the game. but I don't think we deserve to lose a game either. So overall, I think a draw was the right result from watching the game.
But you still felt gutted walking away there, and that's just how high our expectations are now.
Yeah, I did, but I felt a little bit disappointed because the winning streak had sort of come in.
Yeah.
Well, your 138 point prediction's now out the window, isn't it?
But,
that's 136.
But overall, I was quite pleased at the fact that we didn't lose a game. We keep harping back, I think, every week so far that we've said this time last year we would have lost this game if we had played that. But, we're playing as a team. So the attacking went on fire, but I thought the three at the back were superb.
I did feel a little bit disappointed, but like you've just said, the defenders, I mean, Stephen Taylor probably had the better game in his post up. You saw that by how Doncaster fans reacted. They booed him quite, because obviously he was on trial there, so I think they were actually quite good that they didn't get him. He picked up his first.
Whoops.
It's £2 into the pot.
I've been on holiday. I'm still like getting back into it.
First one of the season, mate.
What was I even saying?
I have no
Stephen Taylor
idea.
got booked tonight, which is obviously he picked up his first booking. But like I said, just the three at the back were really fast. But it's something which we've said all along. The mentality is we're going to score. We're going to sit back because we've got the five at the back. We're going to score one more than you score. Now Saturday was actually the first game that we've had the most possession in a game this season.
Oh right, was it? I didn't have a look at that. That's interesting.
Saturday, it was only 51% possession, but it was the first game that we've actually had the most possession in a game this season. Even Northampton, believe it or not, how much of a hammering it was, they had more possession than us. So but like I say, it's that because Fergie changed their formation, they've matched our formation.
Right, okay.
Something that we didn't expect them to do, because against AFC Wimbledon the week before they actually played a 4-4-2, lost 2-0. They went the 5-3-2, whatever you want to call it, and matched us. I think we had to keep the ball a bit more, and it probably didn't suit our style.
I don't think it did suit our style, but I think highlighted what we done is we was actually good at it. We could do it. Grant again. I got his customary booking, but again, he was solid.
He was immense on Saturday.
I do like the way he goes looking for his little sort of fouls, but fair play to him.
There was one on the left hand side, right near to the end of the game. He literally slowed down in front of the player.
Get pushed over, and that's when he sort of pretending he was a little bit injured.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily like to see that, and if that was Madison, I would have slated him.
Yeah, exactly.
So Grant, pack it in. But no, I thought defensively, I thought we'd done pretty well. I was a bit disappointed with Edwards and Leo. I don't think they had particularly great games.
Yeah, I agree with you. And actually, Ben said in his interview as well that, he said the opposite. Ben said he felt that Leo had the best game in a posh shirt this season that he's played.
I may well have been.
I agree with you. Well, yeah, I agree with you, Dale. To be fair, I don't think he actually played that well, and unfortunately, Edwards weren't that great either. But
is that not a fallout from the fact though that they're playing attacking wing backs and we've not gone and scored and things like that? We've shut up shop at the back. Is it going to be the possibility there that in those odd games where we do sit and defend a bit more in games, they're not going to shine like they normally do?
I totally agree, because let's face it, neither of them are defenders.
No.
And playing the three at the back proved why we can get away with not having proper left back, right back, whatever.
Yeah.
They've done what they had to do. The three centre backs I thought were superb, which covered their weaknesses. Again, I keep saying no disrespect to Leo, that's not his position. So we can criticise him whatever we want to do. It's not his fault he's in that position. He's doing his best. I think he's trying. There was a couple of moments from him, to be fair, but it's like me saying I'm a centre forward. In fact, I'm not even any sort of player. Do you know what I mean?
It's not his position. You're right, Dale. But he's got to try and make that his position. Because if he wants to be in that team, because he's not going to get in that midfield, is he?
No,
let's face it. No. So he needs to work on that position at all times in training, extra training. That's what I would be doing in that situation to make sure you're going to spark.
I'm not going to slate him and say he was horrendous. He was far from horrendous.
He wasn't.
It's just not his position. He done his best.
It's one of those where you drop someone in that position and you're almost expecting to be a fantastic attacker and a fantastic defender at the same time, and you're very, very rarely going to find someone who's going to do that. So you're either going to have someone who's probably got more of an attacking quality to him, like Leo does. I think in the last couple of games that I've seen him, he's been good going forward for us.
Yes.
Defensively, he's getting caught out every so often in that, but you'd think with the three across the back, that's where you're thinking they've got someone to come across maybe and
that's exactly what's been happening. Quite often you saw Taylor a little bit further out right, Taff, you saw him a little bit further out left covering Edwards. I say Edwards because I can't say his first name. But, you know, I can live with that because the three at the back I thought were fantastic and they covered that little area.
I think the last couple of games as well, McCann's done the same substitution. He's taken Leo off, moved Guion to the left at the right back position and brought Hughes on. So there is an alternative setup that still keeps that kind of five across the back.
So I'm going back to last Tuesday now, and that checker trade against Southampton. He kept Guion on for the full 90 minutes, which Junior only played about. He came off after about 60. Jack Marriott obviously came on at half time, so he sort of freshed them legs up, saving them. With Guion on Leo's positions, they've got such a massive area to cover.
Yeah.
I think 3 full 90 minutes in a week. I know we're only a month into the season. It's still a lot.
I think he looked legged. Edwards and Leo, and Leo got taken off, but Edwards especially.
And I said this on Tuesday while watching the game against Southampton. It was obvious once we got the goals, we was in a comfortable position. I said, why are we not taking Edwards off? Danny Lloyd's not even getting us in at the minute.
Yeah, I know.
And they're the sort of games where he should be playing, but he's not.
Let's have a look just regarding, because as we talk about Leo at the moment, obviously people are discussing it. David Johnson said if it's not his position, and what the hell is he doing there? Why is he playing that position? Well, in my mind, what else have we got there? Ian Gale said he has to play because he's the next George Best.
That's Barry's words.
Yeah, Barry's words.
Yeah.
Yeah, and got to remember Leo's not even 20 yet, says Paul, still learning the game.
Yeah,
and that's absolutely right, and that's what we said. He is still learning the game, but he needs to make sure that he keeps learning that outside of what that training is, because he needs to make that decision.
You know, he's not getting roasted every week, if you know what I mean. He's not sort of having the mick taken out of him by the attackers. He's trying, he's improving. He is improving. But it's just not his position. So, you know, we have to live with it, and hopefully he will get to it. So fair play.
Well, we've got to look at the whole position. I mean, we're still unbeaten for the season in the league. The games where we have won, we've scored a number of goals, and probably because we've been constantly going forward, we're getting caught out of the back. It's not solely on Leo's head that's the case.
Oh no!
And the one game where we're like kind of saying, we didn't play particularly brilliantly, maybe we've gone and kept a clean sheet. Well, so what more can we ask from him?
I'm not going to criticise him anymore. I don't even want to criticise him. It's just the games.
It's just constructive, mate. That's what we're here for. Let's move on from Leo. Let's talk about
the whole team. Look like they're gelling together though.
Oh.
So I know you're going to laugh here because massive stat coming up.
Stato Jacko.
So we've obviously played the same team for the first 5 games
which
season.
Is brilliant.
Name me the last time we did that. Just have a guess.
10 years ago.
It would have been 2002.
Do you know what? That was only a year off. So under Dick Dowler, for the first 5 games of a season, we've not actually played the same team.
Under Dowler?
Under Dowler.
Oh, right.
So it was 2003, 2004 when we.
But you can understand why they wouldn't change it,
Exactly.
And still, obviously, we'll talk about what formation or what personnel is going to play on the game against Saturday later when we discuss the Bradford game. But that'd be quite interesting. But let's talk about the man of the moment then, the person that everyone's speaking about, the person that we had a chat about the other day after he did sign his 3-year deal. Obviously, me and Adam have already had our sort of tuppence worth of what we thought about it. Del, obviously, you haven't always been the biggest fan of Maddison's antics, attitude as well. What did you make of the signing?
If I'm honest, I just had a feeling that something was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to go. I just had a gut feeling. You know, this season he has been better. His attitude seems to have improved. His theatrics seem to, I wouldn't say disappear, but they've died down. What I was quite impressed with is obviously I read Darrag's statement about Maddison saying he don't care if a bigger big comes in or a bigger team, he wants to stay with Peterborough. That means more to me than him getting 10 out of 10 week in, week out on a pitch. You know, commitment, want to play for my club, my team. I wish I had Darrag's money, but you know, I look at Peterborough United as my club, and it is my club. You know, like it is everybody else, because we're not 2 team followers. Some of us. So overall, no, fair play. And also Saturday, just go back to his against Doncaster. Again, I don't think he was particularly great, actually.
No, I don't think he was. I think he had a good first half, but second half...
I don't think he was great, but I probably saw him try and get back more on Saturday than most other games.
Do you know why that was, I think?
He was putting the effort in, because the ball was back in, he was coming looking for the ball. He actually won a couple of good challenges. You know, he looked as though he wasn't scared to getting stuck in for a change. which last season he would have turned his back, he wouldn't have had, the shoulders would have come down for header. I hope this is a new Maddison moving forward.
The reason I think that is because the reception that he got on Saturday was brilliant.
Yeah, it was.
Because he signed that contract, and you can tell, like a player, any player, that you've got that buzz about you when you've got that feeling off the thing. And obviously he's had a lot of people against him, hasn't he?
Of course.
So Saturday he showed that. I agree with you. I don't think he had the best of games on Saturday, and I still saw the non-heading the ball. And with Maddison, I don't think he's the finished article by any stretch. I don't think he is the best player that we've ever had by any stretch. But he's still dodging the tackles. He still does that. But his assists and the way he can whip that ball and that magic that he done with that shot that just come off the crossbar, that's what we got off him. He's not. I don't think we're going to get 90 minutes top quality out of that.
I don't expect that. I don't expect that at all. But I don't expect him to win every tackle. I don't expect him to win any tackles. What I do expect is a bit of supporting your team, and I saw some of that on Saturday, which I was quite encouraged. I've said my things, I don't know how many times, but a lot of people sort of slate me for my negativity towards Maddison. Nobody ever sort of remembers the positives I've said about him over the last 2 years. I'd still believe he's probably one of the most talented players that we've had play for Peterborough. I'm not saying the best.
No, he's not an all-rounder, but he's definitely got
talented.
Yeah.
Nothing would make me happier than to see him see out this season, keep his nose clean, put the assist in, score the goals, don't go down, and get his big move. He probably deserves it.
It depends on what happens at the end of the season.
It's all his attitude.
Yes, Chris, what do you think of Maddison?
I've got to agree with some of the points you've had there. I think I've noticed a change in his attitude. I think, just the way he's interacting with the team on the pitch. Clapping people as they're going off and jeering at the crowd and thing. It's a positive thing to see from him. I also think actually part of the reason we've got this new formation, the kind of 3/5 across the back and whatnot, gives him a bit of freedom in the middle, because like you said, he's not like the most progressive in getting back and tackling for people and like that, but you want him to be there when he can unleash the moment of magic kind of thing. So the way the team's set up, and you've got your Doherty and your Grant sitting behind him to kind of sweep up and clear in that respect. Really, when we're going full flow going forward and that, you want him to have that free rein and be able to play the ball. I think the way the team's set up and that suits his way of playing quite well at the moment.
It is, and like I say, he's named as a left winger, but that number 10 role, like you have just said, he's getting so much more time. He just looks happier to be here. He's enjoying his football under Grant. Long way it continue.
Let's get some feedback. Ian Gow: if a championship team came in for him at right price, he'd be gone in the blink of an eye. Possibly.
He's going to get more money now. He's got that deal.
Paul said great signing and looks part of it this year rather than an individual within a team. Didn't think he would sign, but thought he would be off in January. Still could happen, to be fair. Still could be off in January. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Johnny said great business. Ian Gow said 1 assist in 5 games. Awful.
Harry Kane didn't score in August, but I'm sure he's still there. Goal scorer at the end of the year.
Got a couple for England here.
I think, wasn't it Fergie after the game as well? Doncaster manager came out and said he thought he was a championship quality player though as well.
Well, he said
fair. Who's that? You're about Darren. He signed him.
Well, I know he signed him and he's going to big him up, but he didn't need to come out and say anything like that.
I agree. His talent, he should be in a championship. The only thing that's holding him back from playing in a decent top end of the championship is his attitude.
So all in all, just to sum up Saturday, it's a point away from home against a team like Fergie's team. No one would have ever predicted a 0-0 against that team, would they? And it's another point, 5 unbeaten. I'm happy.
Still top of the league, and like I say, we're going to a very hard September.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely right, good stuff. So it's usually goal recreation time, but we kind of didn't do that this week. We've done something slightly different. So this is what happened next. So you'll see a small short clip, something to do with Peterborough United. Lads in the studio haven't seen this either. See if you can guess what happens next.
An hour before kick-off, Peterborough United's playoff hopes have been dramatically thrown into turmoil.
What happens next?
Well,
without giving it away.
Can
do you
I
think?
word for word?
No, I think. Would you have to pay if he said it worked?
No, I can't say that.
It's not that. That was Oxford away,
That was
wasn't
from
it?
the documentary, wasn't it?
It was from Big One Manager. Certain people in this room will not even know what Big One Manager is, will they? Alex, behind the camera.
That's why it's behind the camera, isn't it?
That's why.
But anyway, so this is where what's his name? Sean St Ledger acted the fool. He got his move to where did he go? Preston, was it, or Leicester? I can't remember. What happened there is that Bleasdale resigning.
So
I reckon, and then the players chucked him behind his back as he walked out.
okay, so Dale's going for that. Adam, are you agreeing with that?
Well, yeah. At the start, I was thinking of the but that
you-
I remember. Yeah,
effing
but-
battle.
Effing battle.
Well, I can't say it because
I think if
that
we
was
watched
Oxford
him and he
away.
resigns because he effing battled.
But I know that he
Just
did.
before that.
He resigned, but didn't he resign at something like 2:00 in the afternoon? It was like only
It was just
an
for a
hour.
kick-off, yeah.
It was an
But
hour,
when he was
and
doing
that
the
was a
effing-
home game.
When he was
so
doing the effing battle, when
that was away. It was away at
it was
Oxford.
away-
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it was. It was away at
Oxford, or was
Oxford.
it Bury?
It was, and if you let's just Ian Gale said Big One comes into the changing room. I think he might have been in there. Kevin Jackson said when you're in a battle by Steve Bleasdale. No, it wasn't. There's no more guesses yet, and no one on on Facebook has got it correct, but these boys have. Let's actually have a look at it.
An hour before kick-off, Peterborough United's playoff hopes have been dramatically thrown into turmoil.
I resigned, fellas. Good luck, everyone. See you later.
Danny Crowe and
I
Sean
mean-
St Ledger didn't get. They had. I remember an actual interview watching that back. I remember Danny Crowe and Sean St Ledger went into Fry's room, basically saying that they wouldn't train under Billy O.
Yeah,
And I do remember that bit. And then, I think
it's funny, isn't it? I mean, I don't know what Alex thought of that. It would be interesting afterwards to get his point of view. But that was what the club was like pre-DMAC. I mean, that is laughable.
Yeah, because
DMAC
DMAC watched it.
Yeah.
Wasn't
from
the
there.
rumour that DMAC was sniffing around for a club to
A different
take
club.
over?
it was.
I think
It'll come
Swindon
towards
and
that.
Warsaw were two he was looking at, and he saw the documentary,
Yeah, and he said,
and I thought, yeah, well,
And the rest is history.
yeah.
Yeah, the rest
So-
is history. But yeah, I remember some of that. The effing battle, that was funny.
Yeah.
Him resigning, the scenario with Sean St Ledger, he just
Brilliant
acted
as
a
well.
complete cock the whole way. That's not
That's
swearing.
£4.
That ain't swearing. The whole way through the series. But that was good.
Alex, you have to catch up. It's on YouTube, mate. It's very funny, but very embarrassing for the club as well. Right, let's move on then. Bradford come to town on Saturday. So if you look at a lot of people what they're saying on Twitter, September, and you said it about it earlier. September is going to be a hard month, isn't it? But looking on paper, I mean, we've got Bradford and Wigan at home. They're arguably the two bigger teams in the league. We have got them at home though. So am I worried about September? Of course I'm worried, but I'm quite optimistic as well.
I'm with you. I'm optimistic. Should we be worried about them? I wouldn't say worried. Be aware of them. Also, I think Wigan and Bradford will be worried about coming to us. If I'm honest,
100%.
you know, why should we sort of fear them? We'll just do our best. Hopefully, we won't fall apart. I just want to see us do our best. Get a few. I'd be happy to draw one or two over the next couple of weeks. Sorry, but I don't want to lose the momentum. You know what I mean? I think we'll be alright.
They're always a good team, Bradford, though.
They are.
They're
an effective. I would say they're an
against us,
effective
though,
team.
because
are they
they've
good?
Well,
They're
they've got-
effective at what they do.
we haven't beat them since September 15, which
Very
was when
direct.
Graham Wesley, his first game when he took charge, and we beat them 2-0 at their place. But I don't know. I wouldn't say they were a bogey team to us, but I always feel. I wouldn't say threatened again, but they've got a big backing at home. Obviously, they do travel in numbers away. But I mean, it's one of them things that I just can't. I don't think it's going to be the goal scoring, both teams to score, sort of game. I think it'll be. We might see a 1-0 this weekend. But like I say, it's always. I mean, they've not started that bad either.
They're one of those teams at the start of the season you would have put
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's probably the first time this season we've got a known quantity coming down to London Road,
Yeah.
or just generally in the league. Like we've played one of the teams relegated so far from last season, rather played two of the promoted teams, Donny and Plymouth. You know, they're not always known entities in that respect, because sometimes they've got the momentum come in, or sometimes they're on the downward spiral kind of thing.
Definitely.
Bradford, you know they're going to be up there, thereabouts in the season. As we said before, we've struggled against them the last couple of seasons and that. So hopefully we've got the confidence now defensively from keeping the clean sheet against Donny. Take that into the game. Like you said, maybe set up not to go gung-ho, maybe play for the momentum and see if we can nick a goal.
I just think it'll be more of a 1-0 game. I mean, Ben usually brings it up, but how many ex-Posh players have they got?
Oh, here we go.
So,
not
people at home get your...
Paul Taylor.
There you go, straight away. But Paul Taylor isn't even getting a C in.
No.
He played in the Czech trade last week for him, and then he's had 2 sub-appearances for him. So he's not even getting a C in after they bought him, and they were actually quite...
Well, they didn't buy him, they had him, didn't they?
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But they seem quite excited about getting him from us, but he's not even getting a C in.
Well, so was we the first time we got him.
Well, there is. To be fair, I was quite excited when he came back last year. But like I say, it's just... I mean, Knight Percival seems to have settled in quite well there. And yet again, it's another player that seems to be improving when he's left the club. But
okay, so if we look at the fixtures coming up in September, obviously we know we've got Bradford and NK both at home. We then travel to Walsall before Wigan at home, and then Oldham away. So if we were to think how many points we would want and then expect, obviously we want as many as possible, but what would you kind of expect out of them games coming up?
5 games, what's that, 15 points, you'd want 10, wouldn't you? You know, it's, if you get 10 from 15, I think we'd be happy, you know, obviously.
I think the way MK have been playing this season, you'd want to win against them.
Yep.
Oldham are languishing at the bottom, and we finally seem to have broken this trend of playing poorly against the bottom of the league team. So hopefully we can win those 2. So that's just 6 of the 10 points there already. You'd hope then maybe you could sneak into the victory and maybe get a draw against one of the other teams.
I'm going 13 points next 5 games. Why not be positive, eh?
I was just looking, because the reason I mentioned it was because people were mentioning it earlier, but they actually said over the next 2 games what they'd be happy with. Ian Gow said 7 points over the next 2. Ian said 4. Sean said 4. So over the next 2 games, so it's quite interesting what people think about it. But you know, Ian Simmons said Chris, over the next 5 games he reckons 7 points. Simon Parker said 11. Ian Gow says 16 points over the next 5. So there's various things coming in there. But I mean, I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's as bad as what some people are making out. We do need to rush on tonight. Really, really sorry. It is going to be a shortened show tonight. It's because people might want to watch England tonight. In
fact, we're going to go on till 10:15 tonight, just to schedule. We're not going to do no running on the pitch or anything to line it up.
Let's go on to Prediction League. Let's see. I mean, I can't imagine that Prediction League has changed much, because who in their right mind would have predicted 0-0?
I think there was only 3 people who predicted a draw. No one went for 0-0.
My little boy predicted a draw.
Yeah, after you criticised him the week before for going for such a thing.
So no one in the studio.
Yeah, so I think it's the same top 7 plus it might have been Harvey gone for a draw as well and got the extra point, bumped him up into there. So yeah, there wasn't much movement at all that week.
Do remember to get your predictions in. Look out for the tweet from Adam, and if you don't do it one week, just do it the next week. It doesn't matter. Remember, at the end of the season, all your points will be accumulated, and the winner, actually, we have got a prize. We don't know what the prize is yet, mind you, but we will have a prize to someone who wins that. So it's worth getting involved in it at home, everyone. So predictions in the studio then for Saturday's game, Del.
I'm going to stick to my 3-1 because I've been saying it for the last 3 or 4 weeks. So I'm hoping that one way or the other it's going to come through. So 3-1, Madison to score first. Chucking a little bonus point.
Oh,
Grant is going to get another booking.
Yeah, well,
something else about it. He's obviously on the free bookings now. If he gets booked Saturday and then Walsall, he's suspended for the Wigan game. That's how close it can be. But there is actually 7 other players in this league with free bookings as well.
Yeah.
So, and they're all from 7 different teams. So we always say that people are saying I've nailed it. Funny. We're also saying that, you know, Grant's the one that is picking up his yellow card, but there is obviously other players out there like that.
So essentially, if he can get booked
Booked on
twice,
Saturday.
but not in
Sent
the
off, yeah.
not the next 2 consecutive games. We're 11 for Wigan, and then
Yeah.
Walsall away is probably the one to.
Oh, but I know we've
Right,
got
it's
MK.
only-
This-
oh,
we've got
MK,
Milton Keynes.
yeah.
So I forgot about the Milton Keynes one, didn't I? But I don't know how I forgot that.
Crikey.
So maybe Oldham's the game to target there, because they're supposedly like the bottom.
You never know.
of the
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he
you-
might not get booked for the rest of the
Yeah,
season. So,
Yeah.
Completely
Okay.
bad.
Imagine the odds on that.
so no,
Madison might stay on his feet.
yeah. Back to the predictions. Like I say, I'm going to say what I think it's going to be a scrapey one. I'm going to go 1-0, and I'm going to go Guillaume.
Okay, I'm going to go 1-0 as well, and I'm going to say Miller, and we'll just have a real quick thing on Miller in a minute. Chris,
Gonna go 2-2.
2-all.
2-2.
Scorer?
Goal scorer. Dirty.
Okay, good. Just on Miller, just really quickly, is he in on Saturday? Does he start?
Not straight
In
away.
my opinion, he starts on the bench.
He replaces. Well, he doesn't replace Idris Kanu, but he does that sort of role Saturday. But then also, it probably doesn't help that we just fired blank against Doncaster.
Yeah, Junior didn't have a particularly great game,
I
but
think
I suppose
Leave Marriott.
no did Marriott, but
Marriott.
you're not going to leave
He's
Marriott
in
out.
though.
The choice is
It's Junior
Miller
or Miller at the minute.
His inclusion depends as well where we are in the game. You know, around that 60-65 minute mark, we tend to bring one of the strikers off and bring Carnu on to give him a break. If we're still 0-0 or maybe even chasing the game, do you risk it?
Well, let's be honest. Has anybody actually seen Miller play in a league game?
Not
No.
a league game, no.
No.
You know, he might have got. I mean, for Dover, he got what,
Exactly.
60
Yeah,
goals
he's
and
got
85
plenty.
appearances.
But
it's-
I don't think we should just chuck him straight in and start off with. You know, Marriott, we did, but
Yeah.
Morias,
we had to.
we didn't. Obviously, he blended in. I'd think it'd be wrong to drop Morias at the moment.
Yeah.
Straight away for a minute.
It would be.
I really think
Yeah.
it'd be wrong.
Agreed. And Ian says Miller has apparently he's had a knock in
No.
training today. Didn't know that.
McCann's already said that he's going to feature in there's a reserve game.
Oh,
tomorrow,
okay.
So
Liam said bench, come on in 65 minutes. Yeah, you'd bring him on from the bench.
I mean, if you pardon the pun, he is chomping at the bit to play. He's been constantly on
Oh,
about
good,
it.
Chris.
Good,
That's
good.
good.
That's
That's
No, but honestly, if you watch him on Twitter,
just leave it there. That was
Have you
great.
seen how much chumps are nowadays?
That was good. Right, it is time for TalkPosh versus. Remember, this is to get your challenges in. Challenge any one of us in the studio. So if you can get your challenges in to what anything you want against us. This week it was Alex versus his dad. Oh, bless him, mate.
cute.
That's cute, isn't it, eh?
Oh.
So Alex has absolutely messed up his moment of glory there.
which is why he's behind the camera.
He's got no sound on it.
There is sound.
no sound.
No, Ian Guttridge says no sound, mate.
Alex.
It's your moment. I mean, I know you had your moment last week replacing Dell.
We'll upload it on YouTube.
Okay, we'll upload it on YouTube.
Brilliant.
Are you upset, mate?
Yeah, it's my
You're upset for you.
Just let us know then. So it was TalkPosh.
So the
studio
winner-
against the viewers was
Chris, the
I
winner
did win.
was the studio, mate.
was the
It was the studio.
studio.
There we go.
Brilliant. Oh,
2-1 to the studio. Good stuff. So if anyone else wants to get a challenge in, maybe it could be challenging Alex to actually get it right for a week.
Yeah.
Might be an interesting one.
I don't think we've got enough view on the viewers board.
Good stuff. Right. Bet of the week time then. So Bet of the week sponsored by Head to Head Barbers over in Yaxley. Didn't win it. We went for both teams to score and Posh to win, and obviously that did not happen. No one obviously would have bet for 0-0. So I don't know. We'll leave it up to the fans again. Ben's already in. Let's go for that then. Oh no, sorry, that's
No,
not Ben's. Sorry, that's his
that's a
prediction. Is
prediction
it?
when he
So everyone
can.
wants to get a bet
Get a
of
Ben
the
in.
week. Get a Ben in. Anyone wants to get Ben in. Anyone wants to get a bet of the week in. We'll
Probably do
appreciate
it with that bet of the week. Then we'll just get a couple in, and then we'll put it out to a Twitter poll later.
What
and then
about
decide.
Miller to score?
I would say that. Should we go Millet to score? Let's go Millet to score. That sounds good. Okay. Right, I think, let's have a look, we're back there. So, this week's entry into the Talk Posh pre-DMAC 1 to 11, as chosen by you at home, was for the centre-back position. So joining David Seaman, Noel Luke and Adam Drury can be no other than the legend himself, Chris Turner. Up the Posh.